Okay, dokie. Hello, Twitch and or YouTube watchers. I'm happy to start my first stream in what feels like forever and has actually been maybe 3 weeks, something like that. Today, I'm going to do what I'm internally thinking of as a selfish stream, meaning instead of going through the open issues that need triage or pull requests that need reviewing, because that's what I normally do, I today would like to go through TypeScript-ESLint stuff that I have filed, because there's a lot there and, I want to get it done. So let me just skip on over and put this in the chat. Link to all the issues filed by me. Fun fact, on any GitHub repo, if you do /issues/a username in the URL, it will show you all the issues filed by that person. It's just a nice little shortcut for is open, is issue, author, that person. And I've got a few dating back to February 2019. There's like a lot of old stuff here that I'm not going to go into. So instead, I'm just going to go to the two that I filed most recently, a week and a half ago. Enhancements to the member ordering rule. And of course, I'm going to have to post this on Twitter that I'm doing these. So first up, I'm going to go to the most recent one, natural sorting order. We're going to talk a little bit about what this specific issue is about, why we might care about it. Fun fact, today Adobe just announced they're acquiring Figma. Figma said they're getting acquired by Adobe, and no one is pleased. I am not pleased because, well, Adobe makes Photoshop, which is great, and a few other great things, but Figma, I don't want to lose autonomy. I think they're a great company. At least they were a great company. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. All right. By the way, if you ever look up SourceGraph, toward the source, TypeScript-ESLint, there's a great explanation. That's me, the JKG. Oh man, y'all are enthusiastic today. Thank you. I'm not emotionally prepared for this. I'm still a little jet lagged, and this is more positivity than I know how to handle, but thank you. I hope you also have a wonderful Thursday. Woo, streaming! Yay. Where's my water? I'm already wearing out my voice. Pro tip for everyone in the world. Keep a jug or carafe or similar. Oh, thanks for resubscribing, Ben. Ben Myers. Get hyped. Much appreciate. I still haven't figured out exactly what that does for me. I know it's good, so please do the thing, like and subscribe. But yeah, always keep a large amount of water with you, and I keep a little lemon slice in my glass to make my water nice and lemony. Helps encourage constant hydration. Yeah. So, I like this emote. Oh, T3GG party. Good stuff. Yeah, so I just posted a SourceGraph notebook in the chat. That's this thing. If you're ever curious about how TypeScript-ESLint works, or ESLint, linters in general, my stream might not be the best place to come if you have absolutely no clue, unless you read this very good blog post that we did with SourceGraph. You can definitely clue in if you watch the stream, but I highly recommend reading this for an overview of how TypeScript-ESLint works with TypeScript and ESLint. It's good stuff. That being said, you can still, again, definitely just watch and observe all these new things. If you're totally new to this, that's totally fine too. Anyway, today I'm going to be going over a rule called member ordering. That's this one. It requires a consistent member declaration order. It's not going to catch too many bugs for you, but it's a really nice stylistic rule, and it's got a huge list of options. I think there was a stream a while ago where I redid the docs page because it used to be even more absurd with all the examples. So an example, general order on all constructs. We say that everything has to have the order signature, method, constructor field. I'm just going to post the link to hash examples. That would enforce that instead of these orders, you must have signatures, methods, constructors, fields in that order. for things like interfaces, types, classes, class expressions. And there are a whole bunch of options here. You can sort alphabetically within groups. So like within your interface, let's say all your properties needs to be sorted alphabetically, and then your, what are these, function signatures? Lots of options. Unfortunately, there are not enough options because there's an ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys that's popped up and is really good. This is a great plugin. Post it in the chat. It's basically the member ordering rule, but more features. Which is a little annoying that it exists. It's not a bad thing that it exists. It's good because it means that people are able to add features to it that we were missing. But now we have two ways to do this thing. Sorting keys for interfaces and enums and such in the rule and in TypeScript-ESLint. So I think it's a good thing to pull the features that exist in this plugin back into TypeScript-ESLint. Also, while y'all are looking through these docs, my cat is being annoying. This one is Jerry. Jerry is the rambunctious one of our three. So, please enjoy the cat, as he is going to be kicked out of the room momentarily. Ha ha. Goodbye, Jerry. Yeah. All right. So there was an issue I filed on ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys. We had a feature request that someone had referenced this plugin from. So as long as we have all the features they said in this plugin, sure, we can go into TypeScript-ESLint. And there are a couple ones that are missing, one of which is this natural sorting order. Natural says that instead of doing a direct string comparison always, we are a little more clever with sort order. We say that, for example, numbers here, in theory, although 1 comes before 1, 0 as strings, we know that the string, or the number 1 should really come before all those other things. Like 10 comes after 8. Fun fact, if you open your DevTools console or anywhere you run your JavaScript and 110.5, let's say, .sort, you get 110.5, even though the actual sorting order is as numbers different. And that's because when you sort an array in JavaScript, by default, it stringifies everything. That's a technically imprecise way of describing it. It's technically more, I don't know, technical than that, but that's basically it. All right, cool. By the way, thanks y'all for tweeting. Hi, Nate. Cool. All right, so let's look at the rule itself. We know that what we want to do is add a new option, this natural option for sorting. And actually, before I jump into the rule, how do we... Oh, there we go. There's this order option, which is alphabetically is one of the values allowed. And I think there's a list elsewhere. Oh, yeah, here we go. Order is alphabetically case insensitive, or as written. What is as written? What does that mean? And we don't have docs on this. Ooh, from Ben Myers, I built an NPM package years ago to help the sorting experience by building the sort functions for you. Ooh, could you post that? That actually seems really useful. This comes up once in a while, like nice sorting options. Dope. Yeah, what I'm confused is we don't mention what as written is. I'm guessing as written means ignore. Like we don't care what the order is, we just care that they're groups. Ooh, thank you. Generate comparators. Oh, you got a nice readme here. Look at this. Cool. Oh, look at that. Yeah. That's a nice little syntax there. I'm gonna star this. Start. Awesome. Thanks for posting. If anyone else has any sort functions and packages and similar, would love to see them. It's really funny to me how many different utilities and edge cases and stuff there are in sorting. Such a large area. All right. So alphabetically or alphabetically case insensitive or as written. One thing that I want to do is in the rule member ordering. I would love to pair Ben on TypeScript-ifying it or anything for sure. Let's do that. Yeah. So actually, by the way, for this stream, I'm not going to do it. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put a to-do document as written and what these are in general. LOL, because that's not on the docs page. Absolutely. I would love you and anyone else. I love having guests. It's technically fun in that I think it's good to have more people on. And it just, I don't know, it's a good time for me. So, yeah, let's do it. I'm filing a note off screen in my to-dos to pair with Ben and Nate. Awesome. Cool. Yay. And TypeScript tea time. Hello. Oh, 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, my travel schedule is absurd. I'm going off again next week, and then like 2 or 3 trips in October. One of which is like North Carolina, Berlin, North Carolina again. So I'm like setting up a mobile Twitch streaming thing because it's just impossible to stick with the desktop only situation. Which is like one of the things you don't realize going into Twitch streaming, that it's, although it's really good to have a consistent stream, it's also really hard to have a consistent stream, like twice a week, every week. Like imagine your work meetings, like how many of them are you able to attend every single instance of? And then imagine you're like me, you don't have a full-time job, and you're like off gallivanting around the world perpetually. A lot of fun, hard to keep a schedule. Oh yeah, the backlog. I have like 3 different to-do lists. I've got my email inbox, which I cheat as one. I got an actual to-do list. I have GitHub notifications, and I can't remember the last time every single one of them was at 0. Maybe this month. Maybe by the end of this month. Fingers crossed. Yeah. It's hard. But it's fun. I mean, I like having a lot of stuff. But anyway, I could talk about to-do lists for ages. Let's start on this feature. So what we want for the order is natural. And just to recap for those who might have come in recently, natural is the sorting order that the TypeScript, or rather the ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys package has, which is like alphabetical, but do we need like natural case insensitive also? Wondering. I feel like natural should be I don't know actually. Let's add it in. Natural case insensitive. I don't know. It feels like natural would be like, is this inherently case insensitive? Like, would A, B just be the natural sorting order, even though B becomes before A? I feel like it is. I feel like natural is like a step after case insensitive or alphabetical. That's just my opinion. If any of y'all have an opinion on this, I would love to hear it. Sorting is, again, it's not like a bug fix thing. I don't think I've ever seen a bug directly come from out of order declarations. It's just a code cleanliness thing that makes the code easier to read and reason about. So I'm going to say natural is case insensitive. Oops. Oh yeah, fun fact, I have a new ergonomic keyboard that I'm getting used to, so my typing is going to be a little off. But okay. This order type, which is one of these now 4 string literals, is used in the sorting order config, which is one of the possible ways that order config can be done. Ooh, what is a kinesis? Is that a keyboard? I have a Microsoft Ergo situation here. I actually saw it from I think it was Jen Gentleman on Twitter. I think it was Twitter. I think it was that individual. And the thing that drew me to it, one, was that it was just a really good standard Ergo keyboard. I never used one at home before. And two, like many apparently Microsoft keyboards now, it's got a dedicated emoji key. Little friend there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So if you have a link to a good Kinesis split Ergo keyboard, this is no longer a mechanical keyboard for me, and of course it's sold out, like all good things in life. Yeah. All right. So thank you. Sweet. Oh, that's a beautiful keyboard, and it's $429 out of stock. Love it. What is virtual popcorn? Also, hi. All right, check out, I'm going to continue coding, but check out the Slack, y'all, for really good keyboards, especially Ergo split mechanicals. Excellent. That is beautiful. The moon lantern. All right, so I really should do these things. I keep getting distracted. LOL. Somewhere, alphabetically case insensitive is mentioned in, here we go, in an enum in the object config. So I need to add to here. Alphabetically, case insensitive, as written, natural. The way that ESLint works is, or rather, ESLint rule options is you define a schema. Where is this used? Here we go. A schema in the rule creation argument object. That schema declares what properties are allowed to. This chat is making me happy. The schema declares which properties are allowed to be provided to the rule as an option. So let's say that you have this member ordering rule, and I'm just going to go to the playground, and you enable member ordering. Here we go. And now you can provide not just the severity level of the rule's complaints, but an object or literal declaring what it's allowed to have. So I'm just going to go to some examples. Here we go. So now we can say, actually, I guess I don't need the playground. Just this is an example of an object where default, so everyone has these things. The rule itself has declared that default is allowed as a property of the rule object. And it declares that default is allowed to be one of these three things: the never config, the array config, and the object config. I actually don't know what these are. What is never? Okay, so that's saying that we don't sort, I guess. All right. Cool. So in the object config version, that's what we were looking at a minute ago, we take in the allowed member types, and we say that it has two properties. It has member types, which is, let me get an example here, which is either an array of the allowed member types or never config. What is the default order? Here we go. So you're allowed to be an array that includes any of these things: public abstract, public set, static set, and so on. Or you're allowed to say never, don't sort it. And then the order is allowed to be specified as one of these four options. It's a string. All right. So all of that is to say that now people are allowed to specify a different order than alphabetically case insensitive or as written. Now they are also allowed to specify natural. So now that we're allowed to specify the order, we also need to be able to specify the logic corresponding to that order, or rather the rule logic. Also, thanks, homie, for subscribing. Yay. 6 months, geez. That's intense. Thank you. Ooh. Okay. Now, I'm a big fan of TDD, and I always forget to do it. So today I'm going to remember to do member ordering.testts in TDD. We have a lot of test. Look at all these emojis. Jeez. PogChamp. That's me. And yeah, that's a lot of tests. And I'm going to try to find in here a test that tests specifically the order option. Do we have any member ordering.test? Aha. September. That's this month. Yeah, let's go with that. So it looks like we have, in addition to the test file for the rules, different options that don't involve order, we have an alphabetical order test file, and I'm going to move these to the side. Alphabetical case insensitive order test file. And they just test a bunch of different permutations, variations. Thanks, Infamous Matt, for subscribing with Prime. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. That's cool. What is a hype train? What does that mean? A hype train is close. Oh. Okay. One more subscriber and I get to figure out what happens or learn what happens when a hype train, whatever, departs the station. That's cool. All right. So I'm going to make a new test file since we have... Oh, yay. Thanks, Ben. Hype train. I don't know what y'all see, but I'm seeing some intense stuff in the stream manager. Cool. Choo choo. I actually really enjoy not knowing super high levels of Twitch things. I feel like it's just fun to discover new stuff. I feel like I'm at like the beginning of a new video game. I remember ordering natural order.test. Yes. All right. So here we have. Hey, look at all this. Oh man, I'm seeing some. Look at this. Look at these effects in the stream manager. This is some stuff. All right. So the way the tests are set up now is we have this rule tester class that allows you to define things to be run. Rule tester.run takes in a name. So I'm going to change the name to, remember, ordering natural order. It takes in the rule itself, which was created in another file. And it takes in an array of valid cases and an array of invalid cases. I don't know why the author of the previous files made two objects for this. Excuse me. Normally we just put them inline. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna go to member ordering.test. Like we do, valid is just an array of things, which can be either strings or object containing the code, and options. So for the options here, I'm gonna copy and paste what we had before. The options are just gonna declare the member ordering as natural. Oop. Thanks, y'all, for doing things in the chat. Appreciate it. All right, so the code is interface example, and 1 is number, 10 is number, 5 is number. And in our repo, we have lint rules set up that make sure that your code is nicely formatted in your tests. And I can never figure out how to format these. There we go. All right. So for now, let's put a to-do in the invalid. So with the, oh man, look at all these unused imports and stuff. This is great. With the rules changes that I have yet to write, this should be a valid test case. It should be that interface example with these three properties, 1, 5, and 10, should be okay by the rule. If we do cd packages eslint-plugin, yarn jest member ordering natural watch. I'm betting this will maybe fail. What the heck? What the heck? Do I need to rebuild or something? Oh, you know, I did, oh no, I did yarn jest. Maybe npx jest? Are we adding some weird commands? Well, I have never seen this before. So that's unfortunate. But I see my test case passes, which is unfortunate because this was supposed to fail. I haven't written default order yet. So I'm guessing maybe the rule just doesn't like look at sorting at all if it's not yet implemented. So I'm going to add an invalid test case to make sure this fails as expected, which is going to be the same but with the code out of order and with errors. It's going to have, I think, one error. Let me look at the other file. Here we go. Just going to copy and paste this. I don't know what the error actually should look like. So ASDF QWERT. All right. Wow, that console spam is really annoying. All right. So we should have had one error, but it had 0. Okay, so the rule just isn't checking ordering at all. It's not giving any errors on this thing, which is correct, and it's not giving any errors on this thing, which is incorrect. So great. We're making progress here. Good stuff. So where do we actually check the member ordering? Where do we look at, say, alphabetically case insensitive? All right. So I see the only, out of the 3 places it's used, the only one that's not in defining the schema or object types or whatever is this function here, validate members order. That is a very reasonable name. Oh, yay, hype train level 2. That's cool. Hype lol. All right. So, wow. This rule is quite a few hundred lines of code. That is unfortunate. I do not like rules that are so intense. But, oh my God. Has alpha sort is whether the order starts with alphabetically. That's no longer a good enough check. It's because we can do naturally now. It's order and order not equals as written. All right. And okay. So alpha sort is case sensitive. That doesn't need to change. The only one that's, wait, hang on. Alpha sort, that does need to change because the natural is also case insensitive, which means order or has alpha sort and order not equal to alphabetically. All right. So we are case insensitive if we are either natural or alphabetically case insensitive. Oh boy. And this is a Boolean. I see there are TypeScript errors later down because this was Boolean or null. All right. Is green Squirtle the shiny Squirtle, by the way? Looking this up, just out of curiosity. Oh, it is? Wait, hang on. Is shiny Squirtle just almost the same color? That's frustrating. All right. Ooh, sort checker functionality. Yeah, maybe we could pair on that too. All right. So previously we were using 2 Boolean flags to check alpha sorts. But you know what? Now it's more advanced than just 2 Boolean flags. Now we have like multiple things. We have alphabetically, case insensitive, and natural. So instead of using a Boolean flag here, I'm just going to say, I'm going to pass in the order, which is oy vey. Grouped.sum. Oh man. All right. This is funny. What are we doing here? Order here is order or null, because TypeScript isn't right now smart enough to know that has alpha sort is a Boolean that only happens if order is truthy. So just for now, I'm gonna add a bang to say no, order definitely exists. And I'm also gonna modify this check alpha sort function to take in order, which is order, where order is alphabetically or alphabetically case insensitive or as rate or natural. That's actually not true. That's alphabetical order, I'm going to call it, which is order, but just these ones. So not as written. The three that are not as written, which means order is alphabetical order or as written. Yay! Let me just shove this up here. All right. LOL. Anticlimactic squirrel. All right. So back down to where check alpha order is called. Also, there's no need to use null when we have undefined. I'm just going to do a little code cleanup here. All right. So it's a little more verbose, but undefined is kind of the more default does not exist value. Hey, I'm happy to take a sub and or follow in any order. Thank you. Much appreciated. All right. So, oh boy, order, man. It's funny, like I am one of the more proficient TypeScript people in like on that spectrum of proficiency, but I'm still finding myself wrestling with the type system once in a while. Like TypeScript is so advanced, and yet there's still a few things that just kind of don't quite work. Like using this Boolean flag to indicate that another variable is a more specific type. Like sometimes that works. There are places where it does, but others, not so much. And I am on TypeScript 4.8.2, which is a relatively recent version, but okay. All right. So the only place that check alpha sort seems to use that parameter that I changed is checking whether to complain about something. So, oh, not all members have names. That's cool. So, order. So if we do alphabetically, then it's name less than previous name. Order is case insensitive, then it's name to lowercase name is less than. And then otherwise, if here order must be natural, so natural order out of order. I don't know what to call this. Name, previous name. And now finally we get to the point where I need to actually check things, like implement the new logic. We did get a train going. You know what? You're just going to have to be here for every stream just in case one happens again. I guess that's the only solution here. And name, string, previous name, string. And yeah, exactly. All right. Actually, I'm already kind of hating this logic. So I'm going to say switch order. So there is a JavaScript proposal for a match language feature, which would enable this to be a little easier to write inline. But that doesn't exist yet in my world. So a function with a switch statement. case alphabetically, return name less than previous name, case insensitive, same as what we had before. And then we have the case of natural, which I'll just call explicitly, even though I could say default because I like being explicit sometimes. Name, previous name, order. All right, how do we write this? So this is actually kind of tricky. How do we write this? We need to know that numbers are treated as, I don't even know how to call this, as like natural sort. So just out of curiosity, I want to see how the other folks do it. How does eslint-plugin TypeScript sort keys do things? Rules, interface. Where does natural come in? Oh boy, this is going to be more difficult, isn't it? Common options. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clone this repo and look at it locally. In theory, I could use GitHub code spaces or VS Code Online or whatever, but call me old-fashioned. I just like having things locally. Code eslint-plugin TypeScript sort keys. And I'll actually have to give myself a to-do if I use the similar strategy to the other plugin, give credit. I don't know if I'm legally required to give credit if I don't actually copy paste code, if I just look at them and learn from them, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. Yay. All right, so where do they use natural? Oh my God, is there a library? Of course there's a library for this. Bah. We're very sensitive about taking in new NPM packages. Natural compare lights. Published 7 years ago. Well, they haven't changed it since. That's great. Some people think that a package not having updates in 7 years or similar long times is a bad thing. That, oh, it's out of date. It's not being used. I say that's a good thing. I say the package is great. It doesn't need to be changed in some way. Which actually makes me more, I don't know, confident that maybe we should just take a dependency on this package. Starred. Ooh, what is light.js? And the web page doesn't work. Well, maybe if this is a negative sign. Oh man. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Well, never mind. I'm still going to tweet about this package. Ooh, notifications. TL about this. Sparkles. Oh yeah, fun fact. The emoji thing on my keyboard doesn't actually work. I'm pressing the emoji key now and it's not compatible with Mac. Shout out Microsoft Windows. I miss it. You know, I've reached the stage in my life where people shout and get off my lawn. I'm on their side. Lawns are hard to maintain. Why are people trampling your lawn? That's really rude. Like, get off the lawn, man. Unless you lawnmowered it. All right. So, just going to look up where do we actually use natural compare. Oops. Where do we actually use this? Hey, if you have any questions, feel free to ask anytime. Yeah, I hate this. I need Mac because the Windows developer experience for Unix-based stuff is just not good. Like, I used WSL and then WSL 2.0, and I did mounted and native and all these different things, and it's just slow as heck. And also, the Mac M2 is just wonderful. Right now I'm on an M1 Mac Studio, and I have my Air with an M2, and it's just better computers to the point where I can no longer use Windows in good faith. Also, I mean, everyone's on Mac, it feels like, in the dev community, except for the Windows lovers. But, you know, the Windows is just a better operating system than Mac in terms of user experience. It's horrifying to me. Like, I have to download this rectangle thing. Mac, it's annoying. Annoying-ass operating system, and Apple doesn't make Ergo keyboards. So, oh, WesTerm. Is WesTerm Windows Terminal? Ooh, that's a different thing. Cool. Huh. Yeah, I'll check this out later if I get back on Windows. I never ended up using, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Alacrity. I used to say alacrity to myself as a joke and almost said it out loud once in polite company. Teehee. Yeah, emulation speed is an issue, and then just the freaking RAM usage. Oh. All right. Okay, so yeah, they're basically just using natural compare directly. They have this weighted compare thing, but we don't have weights in our compares, so I can make guesses as to what weights are, but we don't use that. Oh, I actually thought emulation was the right word, Nate. I don't know these things. So whatever you say goes. Okay, I'm just going to use this natural compare thing because I don't have the energy to re-implement a perfectly good package that's in use already. Oh my god, natural compare light. I always wondered why people don't pull more pranks on folks who disrespect their property. Like in one of the Naked Gun movies, they showed a wall where as soon as you try to graffiti it, it would spray paint out at you. I always thought that was a great idea. Okay, am I on like a weird version of Node or something? Is that why I'm getting these like weird, annoying things? Yarn add natural compare light. I have found that Node 18 like has weird bugs with other things in Yarn. Oh, NVMe 16. Expected work. What are you doing with me, Just Snapshot? It's not even installing. How do you get around this? Who is using Just Snapshot? All right, I hate dealing with dependencies and package management. This is a solved problem in theory. I as an end user, I don't care about how they're supposed to work. I just care that the freaking packages are there when I need them. I'm not here to wrestle with configuration of my package manager. I just want to write some gosh darn TypeScript. You know. But of course it's important, and packages are, always depending on each other, and it's a thing we have to pay attention to. Blah blah blah. Dependency free at least for now. Yeah. Just wait until you have to do natural sorting. And I failed to build, probably because this. Oh, we're using patch package? That's good. I did not know that. Why are we using patch package? Is that us or someone else? What? What are we patch packaging though? Yeah, I don't even need to know. Yeah, all right. So eslint-plugin failed to build, and that's fine because it has compile errors right now. So I'm just gonna copy and paste the way you import natural compare light and go back to my package. So I see that it doesn't come with its own type definitions, and NPM, they recently, maybe a year or two ago at most, added this little indication that you have to get your types from definitely typed. And prior to that, the easiest way, and kind of still one of the easiest ways, is to use aka.ms/types to search for type definitions. And here we see, oh man, look at this, 1.1 million download. That's a lot. At types/natural compare light. Yarn. So I'm going to just do at types/ I can't even copy paste the whole thing. Yarn add at types/ natural compare light /d for dependency. Why is there a trouble with my network connection? Expected workspace package to exist. Hey. Stack Overflow is not being super helpful. These are telling me how to use a different yarn version. Actually, maybe that's the solution here. Maybe I should just use an older version of yarn. Does that work? This looks like it's working. I should also to-do complain somewhere about this. Well, like maybe I'll do it after the stream if I don't have time on it. But this is not great for local development if you're trying to add a package. And because we add packages so rarely, who knows how long this has been around. Side note, rose petals on potpourri sounds amazing. Oh my god, I love it. Please keep doing you. That's the type of thing I want more of in this world. All right. This is taking quite a while to install yarn packages, even though I have the souped up super fancy Mac. So I'm guessing that because I'm using a different yarn version, it had to redo a whole bunch of crap. So that's not great. But as long as it just updates my yarn.lock a little bit. Oh, dear heavens. And it completely reset a whole bunch of stuff. Isn't that lovely? So I'll have to figure that out later. But for the sake of a stream, because no one wants to watch me resolve yarn lock packages, and if you do end up having to watch that, make sure there are no children in the room, because I will be very vulgar. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Oh, yeah, I was going to test. Okay, so natural compare. Oh my god, I think I never actually added I never added natural compare light with the new yarn version. All right. Well, at least the types seem to be happy with the import. And oh boy. I always forget this. So natural compare returns a 0 or 1 or -1. So I'm going to guess that it's -1 that we care about. Restart ESLint server for the new packages. Have fun with the work calls. Bye, Nate. I'll also upload to YouTube later. Thanks for joining, hanging out. All right, so I'm going to npx member ordering, what was it? Member ordering natural order. And we'll see if this gives me the complaints about. Yep, don't know what that is. Ignore. All right, so, oh my god, I think I actually might have guessed right for which natural compare is good. I see we have an error, and it's just that I have the wrong error message here, which is great. I was just guessing on what that's supposed to be. Oh, incorrect group isn't allowed? Oh. Incorrect order? Did I misread it? Have fun, bye, Infamous Matt. Infamous. Thanks for hanging out. All right, look at this. All right, so the data is member 5 before member 10. I'm looking at this error message down here. We expected member should be declared before member. All right. And I think the line and column are going to be a complaint as well. So I'm just going to 0 them out. See what happens. And ooh, this is a great question. Just let me, I'm going to quickly fix this. Oh, error line should be 5. Why do we need to add the natural ordering option to the TypeScript-ESLint if it's already a part of ESLint? Great question. I don't know if you can hear the siren outside. Let me just real quick fix this column. So it's not actually a part of ESLint yet. Everything that we're doing is in ESLint's plugins or extensions. So TypeScript-ESLint is one set of packages that add on TypeScript support to ESLint. Yeah, sorry, I know, it's so annoying. I'm moving to Philadelphia in 2 weeks, and my apartment in Philly will have office on the 2nd floor. So that should be much better for the acoustic quality and for my background, which I'll be able to make all fancy. Actually, slightly dimmer background. There we go. I don't think you can see it on the stream. Yeah, so shout out New York City for being a cesspool of sirens, dirt. But yeah, so neither of the things we're looking at are actually a part of ESLint itself. eslint-plugin TypeScript sort keys is a third-party extension similar to ours that adds in a new rule that you can use, or I think 2 rules you can use for sorting your keys. So this is all children playing in the playground of ESLint. And now we have 2 groups playing the same game, and we'd like to merge the groups into one big game. Meaning we want to take the features from this other plugin into TypeScript-ESLint, because we are the standard plugin for TypeScript rules, and it seems off to me that we have 2 places to do the same thing. Let me know if that does or doesn't answer your question, or if that's what you meant to ask about. But good question. Also, I am pleased because I have passing tests. Yay! I don't really know what to test. Oh, yay, I'm glad. I don't know what to test here. Like, we're testing that natural sort works. Like, in theory, I could test a whole bunch of edge cases around natural sorting. But those should already be... Oops, natural. Those should already be covered by the natural sort... natural compare light package. So there are probably... Like, I could add some high-level tests to make sure things in different groups are linted nicely. So yeah, I'll take this one. Why not? This is a valid case. I'm just gonna copy and paste this one. Interface. I've started calling things example instead of foo. Foo confuses people. All right. And fix the formatting. Let's call this A1, A10, A5. I'm going to do the same for B and C. So, oh my God, my shortcuts are not working. There we go. B1, B10, B5. Ooh, natural compare light seems to be tested. Oh yeah, look at that. That's some great testing there. Yeah, so we don't need to make sure that they're working. We can trust them. 1510, 1510. Yeah, I'll just get that out of there. I'll just add a second group here. I don't think we need to test too many things. Just test that these are all numbers. All right. And I'll take the options. Order is natural. So this should pass. Nope. Member B1 should be declared before member A10. Aha. Oh, interesting. So natural compare light by default, by default considers capital B to be before lowercase a. So I'm actually going to go back on my previous decision I'm going to say that there should be a natural case insensitive. And I'm going to have to add to this enum. Or not enum, type union. Here we go. Doo-doo. And there was somewhere else where I had to add also. Yep, here we go. Natural case insent. You know what? I don't need to do this. This is adding more complexity to the rule. I don't want that. I'm gonna just lowercase them to lowercase. I don't want to add more options to the rule if we don't need. And if people are doing natural order, I just really don't see a case where they would want case insensitivity, or rather case sensitivity. It just doesn't strike me as useful. But I'll put it up in the PR, and I'll to do call out in PR and tag the plugin owner. Maybe there is actually a user need for case sensitivity. All right. And looking at my test cases, yay, they all pass. Which means I'm going to add one more failing test here. And I'll just put these out of order. And let's see what errors we get. Boop. Oh, and instead of bar, I'm just going to put unknown. So we should get several complaints here. Oh, well, at least one error. Message ID, incorrect order. See what happens. All right. Little pro tip that I've seen. The ESLint complaints. The ESLint complaints have, they just print out the JSON so you can copy and paste those. And yeah, great point in the chat. I immediately stopped using the key ordering as soon as I noticed it has no auto fixer. Yeah, an auto fixer is very important and absolutely should be something we add. I want to say there's another issue for that. Member ordering fix. Yes, +1. So hey, if anyone wants to contribute this. It is actually quite a difficult problem. So I would not recommend it as your first issue. There are probably bugs. Rather, it would probably be reasonable to implement this in a way that gets most of the way there, that has just small bugs. But yeah, it's hard. eslint-plugin TypeScript short keys does have an auto fixer. So one would wonder how they do it. All right, so I'm just going to remove node type and end line, end column, because I don't care about those. The data, what is the data? Oh boy. All right, so data is on the first one, member A5. Before member A10. Is that the first one? I think so. And in the second one, it's data is the before member is B10, member B1. And now these are, yep, these are all passing. Great. Okie dokie. So I've been here for about an hour and my back is sore. So I'm gonna push this up as a work in progress, including the yarn lock changes, which I'm gonna have to figure out how to undo because that's some intense stuff there. So this will just be a draft pull request. But yay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. This seems to be working. So yeah, I'll just complain somewhere about that too. But yeah, thanks so much for everyone for hanging out. Feel free to ask any questions or comments in the chat now about developments, about TypeScript-ESLint, life in general. I'm always happy to chat, which I realize I forgot to mention earlier. Sorry. Also, let me know if there's anyone I should raid after this. I'll be finishing in a couple minutes, so whoever should get all those subscriber, viewer, whoever's after me. It's good to know. All right, so making a PR, I'm going to say get checkout B. What is this? Member ordering natural order. Get add all. I'm going to make the message something like say work in progress feats. Add natural feats to ESLint plugin. Member ordering. Add natural sort order. Finite singularity is a good egg. +1. Let's go with them. Perfect. All right. So here is the draft pull request. Boop. Gonna have to post on Twitter, of course. Still a few things to touch up, but feeling good so far. Yay. All right. Well, with that, since none of y'all have asked any more questions, I appreciate the raid suggestion and the +1. Why do my quick actions not have labels? I hope you have a great rest of your day too. TypeScript tea time. Thanks. Raid. Oh, there we go. All right, so in 10 seconds, we'll be raiding. What a good time. All right. Thanks, y'all. See you around. Bye.